listening to Girth and Mirth Bears on the PJ and Friends Radio Network, Dallas, Texas.
The views and opinions expressed on this show do not necessarily reflect those of this station, owners, management, and sponsors.
If you find any content disagreeable, you may exercise your right to change the channel. And now, on with the show.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Here we are. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Girth Mirth Bears Podcast, PJ and Friends Radio Network. Who's got their phone on?
I thought I turned it down a while ago.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry. It's just what happens. It eventually creates an echo. So in the house we have Keith.
Hello.
And we have Stephen.
Hello.
And Junior, once again, the queen, the king, the whatever, the star of the
Diva.
show, has to make an entrance.
Prima donna.
We have no idea when.
Oh my God.
Oh, look out, here he comes.
Here she comes. Miss America. Miss America. Come on, come on. Hey, is there any way to fix that camera so I don't look so fat?
You're always fat.
I know, but you mean like, is there some angles or something we can do?
Camera's always at about 10 pounds.
I don't have the Oprah
Yeah, but
lens.
how many
I'm sorry.
cameras you got pointing at me? I look that fat.
Shit.
Don't turn sideways, please.
Woo.
You need to face the camera. Don't be afraid.
Face the camera.
Face the
Extreme close up.
You suck at have grapes.
Hello, America. Or whatever one or two of y'all are watching. Jesse, how are you? Y'all still on lockdown in California? We just started ours. Yes, we're.
Yes, we are on the air.
We didn't know where you went, what you were doing.
Yeah, so we decided to start without you. I'm like already 3 strokes in. Sorry.
Hello.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm posting things.
Hi, Junior. Welcome
Hello.
to the show.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. So, how's everybody doing?
Well, I'm just upset about Trump and his handling of the coronavirus.
It's a lot to take in and a lot to do, a lot of responsibility.
Well, he's handling it well by fucking it up.
Well, he could handle it better by letting the experts handle it.
Except all his
just the way he does everything.
experts are cronies.
Yes, this is true. So, we have no movie theaters, no movies. We can't go out to eat. So, we've been hanging out with Junior and PJ every day. So, if any
Doing
of us
the PJ
catches
show.
corona, we're all going to have it together. And
Yeah, we'll all have ventilators right in a row,
right.
Right next to each other.
or sharing a ventilator,
Ooh, that could
which
be
is
fun.
basically unhealthy. Good luck
Yeah.
on that one.
Depends upon who you share it with, doesn't it?
So,
It's
we're
true.
kind of on a lockdown. With there's still a little travel available and stuff you can do, but not much. Things are going to get really boring really fast.
Well, not so much boring. I mean, it's just the uncertainty that makes it worse. That's the problem.
Right.
Yeah.
No, what makes it worse is not having any cash.
That too. And our courageous government's debating on who should get what thrown into the package. Hey,
If you own an airline, you're in like a Flynn.
$50 billion for the executives. They're going cha-ching, cha-ching.
Yeah, it seems like it'd be easy to just come out with this stimulus package to just say or
For the-
have what they originally talked about, but then they add in this much for this for this, this for this, this for that, and
Just put it out
And
there for the
just-
people.
just put it out there for the people. That's
Yep.
my opinion.
That's their tax dollars.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's
You know?
No, actually,
businesses,
it's my
there's
tax dollars.
small individually owned businesses and businesses that need the handouts as well or the help as well. The bigger corporations that get help all the time, especially by all the tax cuts.
They don't pay
you know.
taxes, and they get a tax break not to pay taxes.
Make billions of dollars in profit every year, but they need help.
Yeah, and then the Carnival Cruise Line wants help from us, and it's under another flag, and
Yeah.
Disney's under another flag or something. I forget.
Yeah, all the cruise lines, they sell under different countries' flags, so they don't have to pay U.S. taxes, but now they want the U.S. to bail them out.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Well,
I'm dying, so there you go.
Crazy white boy.
So, anyway, I don't know if there's a whole lot to talk about besides Corona. I know everybody's tired of hearing about it. I'd say I'm tired of hearing about it. I check the world tracker every few minutes on the phone to see what the numbers are up to. It's crazy. We're already almost more deaths than we had yesterday, and we had more yesterday than any other day. And we're going up about 10,000 cases a day. And then, we saw something on the news yesterday. I don't know if you were paying attention, where it showed like how many days it took to reach the first 100,000 deaths,
Right.
And or 100,000 cases. And then it took 11 days to reach 200,000. Then it only took 4 days to go from 200 to 300. And it's probably only going to take 2 to go from 3 to 4. So the numbers are, increasing exponentially. Did I say that right?
Yep, close enough.
Close enough. Y'all know what I meant. I'm from Pleasant Grove. Y'all don't judge me.
We don't judge anybody.
Judgmental, but not judge.
Yeah. So, and then now there's talk about ending the lockdowns and going back to work to save the economy, which don't make sense. I mean, if you're going to give the stimulus package, then, that makes it easier for everybody to stay home and it helps the economy. If you send everybody back to work, do they cancel the stimulus package? Do they still let it go out?
I would say still let it go out, because I'm going to be so far behind by the time I get back to work. I don't know about the rest of you, but I mean, I know I'm already a weekend behind.
Right.
And everybody's playing catch up, so it's like.
Yeah. Well, yesterday was my actually last physical day of working. I'm still getting paid for a few more days.
Well, yeah, we so the company I work for, I got a call on Monday. I'm new. I'm still relatively new, so some people can do stuff remotely. I can, but I don't have the logins and the access and the do's and don'ts of what we should be doing.
Right.
I think a lot of the doctors are asking for access to their computers away from home, so there's programs we can install that allow that to happen. So I think they were focusing on that for some of the people. But I'd gotten a call Monday, and you heard it. I had it on speakerphone, right? And so he said, well, no one's getting fired. We're going to pay. He says, we're good. If it takes a couple months, we should be okay. And so we'll see. They mailed my mileage check yesterday, so it should be here in a couple days.
Well, what's embarrassing for me, anyways, your company is paying you. My company has laid me off and went, you're on your own. Have fun. Goodbye.
Well, a lot of companies did that, and I'm surprised because some of them are pretty big companies.
Yeah, and I mean, the jewelry store that I work for is one of the larger jewelry stores, and they're based out. Their base is in California and all that fun stuff. So, but they've got more money than they know what to do with, and they should be able to cover the employees.
At least a little bit, anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and I had to take sick leave because
my company was claiming about how much money they made last year and how much in profits, and then this year they're like, oh no, we didn't really make that much, because at first they were talking about paying us for a little while or keeping the management staff on, and then now all of a sudden the money's not there. Oh, but just because they bought up so many other chains last year, but it wasn't last year they bought them.
The Democrats did it. The Democrats did
it. It was 3 years ago that they bought them. But
well,
they're apparently still paying off the loans they got to buy these other.
That was.
I'm not buying any of that shit.
That's what's called trickle-down economics.
Yeah.
Big companies get big cuts to give to their employees,
but the employees never
gets it. Wow, how many times they tried to make that work?
Yeah, several now.
I'm sure. I'm not going to cut the Democrats always. The Democrats have some responsibility too.
They do, and
the Republicans need to stop sucking dick.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think it's a matter of that. I mean, well, yeah, no, you're right. I was thinking of Democrats. Well, maybe they'll get sick enough to where they can't go in and vote, and that'll tilt the.
They were talking about voting remotely.
Yeah.
I didn't think that was possible because here's why I thought they had to be in the chamber to vote.
They have to be in the chamber to vote because when they did 9/11, one of the things that the 9/11 Commission came up with was that they're not able to remotely vote, either from home or by computer.
Right,
or-
and they closed the air. They closed the air for so long.
Kind of a different case because the social distancing. and
I
stuff,
agree, it
but-
is, but still, if you can't come into work, or Mr. Ron Paul, let's say, and work 6 days after being exposed, and oops, I'm sorry, did I say that?
Yeah.
Being exposed.
But they should have this should have been in place years ago, at least to me. I mean, they should have been able to remotely vote years ago.
Right.
It's just one of those things that never gets. Oh, it'll get there next time. Oh, it'll get there next time.
Yeah, I think sometimes they do that just to tip the scales in favor of one or the other, just because there's people who can't make it to vote.
You see, and that's the thing. We don't have the ability to find out exactly where we stand because you don't have the testing. And now today was the first time I heard the possibility that if you've had the virus, there may be some level of immunity afterwards. But that's a guess right now. You know what I mean? I would not swear by that.
I got the coronavirus.
That's how it works with most viruses, though.
It may
is once
be,
you're
but the
exposed to it,
flu,
your body.
you've gotten that's not true with the flu though.
Well, yeah, the flu mutates and changes every year, but then so has the coronavirus. Has already mutated and changed a few times so far.
That's why it's called COVID-19.
Right.
Dirty white boy.
So,
Dirty white boy.
but yeah, so the flu shot and having been exposed to the flu before actually is supposed to help build immunity and antibodies for the flu.
Right.
And so getting exposed to coronavirus will help you develop some, but it don't mean you won't get it again or it won't mutate and change and come back around.
Oh yeah,
But
it'll come back around again because it's a virus that's really hard to kill. Didn't you find who found the fact that on a cruise line?
I saw that just a few minutes ago. They said it's been 17 days since the passengers disembarked from the ship, and they're still finding coronavirus has survived on the surfaces there. So where before they were saying like stainless steel 3 or 4 days, some other surfaces a couple of days. Now they found out that it survived 17 days.
And even to that, like remember I went to return that pasta today. They had signs up saying they'll only take back stuff like produce, meats, things like that might not be up to standards because technically they have to throw those out anyway. But he went and took. I bought the wrong kind of pasta yesterday, and so I took it back. The guy did take it back, but there's huge signs up saying we're limiting what we take back. And the truth is, how do you know? Even the most mundane thing can be you put that back on the shelf. What happens?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. I just thought the not taking back a lot of this toilet paper and stuff was just because people overbought, and it's like, well, you fuck them, fuck yourself for doing that. And
well, I'm not so sure that's easy. That's fair too, because here's what's happening. I went to 2 places today. I went to Walmart first because we needed cleaning supplies, and then I went to Kroger. I figured what I don't see at Walmart, I'll get at Kroger. And so there was a couple, of course they're saying you can have 10 paper towels and 10, 12. Well, they have the 24 pack or, some of them are prepackaged and they were putting 2 out at a time. And how do we know in the back they don't have the cheaper stuff? Because they're coming out with like Angel Soft, and this is not the cheapest, and so make sure you don't put the most expensive, but don't put the most cheap, So
in the middle.
Lo and behold, someone takes the last Angel Soft off the shelf, and out comes a pallet with more Angel Soft on it. So I'm thinking, they have no. It's possible. Here's the thing: it very well could be possible that they have nothing else in back. But how do we know?
Right.
I guess we have to have
But
faith.
I think right now most people are just hoping they have something.
And I was coming back with the stuff, right? And a lady said, "Hey, where'd you find the toilet paper?" I said, "Well, this isn't toilet paper; it's paper towels." I said, "But Walmart had some." I said, "Every time they took the last one off, they'd bring out another pallet. I got to go and get some." So apparently, she don't have none. I'm like, "We have enough here that I could have given her because one of the packages we got months ago had 4 or 5 6-roll packets in it. You know what I mean? The 4-roll packets in it. And so I could have given her one. I thought,
Yeah.
but I wasn't gonna sell it or anything. You know, but
Oh, why not? Make a buck or two. Come
no.
on.
You know, I tried to lick the eggs that I got for him, and I got a lousy $2.
I licked him second.
Oh, he did. Sick.
I licked his
Sick.
I licked his lick off, so it didn't count.
If you want to participate in the show, you may do so. Call 469-844-2207. 469-844-2207. Most companies would rather throw you out than pay the fees to EDD. What's erectile dysfunction have to do with paying? Huh? What companies are worried about your erectile dysfunction? Well, there was a strip joint up in Washington State, I think it was, that went out of because they closed the doors. So, but apparently they served food. You know, it's like some of those places have a restaurant. So they have strippers delivering food door to door, or people called Boober Eats. And I'm like,
I saw that. I thought it was a joke.
No,
I didn't read the whole
not.
article.
It's not.
A lot of the strip clubs I used to go to, during lunch, you got free buffet or free lunch with the
Nipple?
cover charge. So
you got a free nipple.
So the cocktails that they're delivering now have a new meaning when they say cocktail, because they're being delivered by a driver that's male and has. Anyways,
one thing that is not having any problem at all right now is the robocalls. Clearly, they don't care. You know what I mean?
that the world is coming to an end.
You know,
mine haven't increased, but I get the same number of them every day.
well, I go in phases where there'll be days or weeks where I don't get any, and then out of the blue, I guess they recycle their lists, they refresh their lists, and
Something
then
like that.
they hit me again. And so the last couple of days, it's been really crazy. You know, and I thought I hung up. You just hang up on it. Apparently, I had answered one.
Oops.
And when I quickly hung up on it, but the minute you do that, their computer knows there's somebody there. So now, it's like, sucker.
Just block them.
I do. And yeah. Oh man, it's bad. It's very, very bad. So, let's see what we got going on here. Okay. The last one we did all together, reached 3,001 people.
Our show?
Well, that simply means that the link appeared on 3,000. You know how you load your page and then there's all that crap there, whether you click on it or not. That means they had the option to see it. And of that, 369 views. That's not bad.
No.
Yesterday, I did one, and it reached 889 people. And it didn't show me the views on this one, so I don't know why it doesn't show me the views. But let's see here. And then today, so far, it'll tally out at the end of the day. But it says so far 34 people reached. But what happens is after we end, it'll.
Jesse says EDD is unemployment, which means not only does your penis not work, you're not working either. So. Being unemployed can really cockblock you.
Yeah.
I mean, it really can.
Can kind of cut that down.
So the California people, they have all those pills for that. So they have like smoothies and cleanses and herbal wraps.
And then the tough question is, where do you go on your date?
It's an industrial trash bag for everybody.
It's like, where do I go for my date?
Yeah.
Do I really want to get this guy for a date?
I will take him to the kitchen.
Take him to the kitchen.
Take him to the shower, scrub him, and then start.
Oh,
Okay.
Like, for sure.
So, yeah, what did Jesse do? We talked to him last week, right?
We did.
What did he do? He says he's a tax guy.
Yeah.
He says his job is yes, but I have to go to work since my job is essential. When did
Tax guy is essential? Nothing personal, Jesse.
Unless I'm thinking the wrong guy. So yeah, no, and it's it's a scary time. I mean, it's first, okay, so here in Dallas, the judge that's doing this, his power ends on the 4th of April. So everything he's doing, what are you looking at?
Some guy going down a slide. Slide looked really fun.
So
he had clothes on.
It doesn't matter. He had his power ends on the 4th, and I don't know if he's like his term is up, or if they've granted him certain powers to certain points in time. But everything that he's done is ending on the 4th of April. I don't know if there's any other counties here in Dallas or Texas that has followed his lead. For whatever reason, they're really resistant to doing the right thing.
I think he's done a pretty good job so far. I just wish he would let somebody else talk for him.
Oh yeah, it's like a tax audit.
Oh God,
it's like the worst possible.
Oh, it is, man.
It's like it's like an insurance salesman coming to you.
Today we're gonna decree that everyone should stay. I made it sound too exciting, didn't I? I need to dump it.
You know what? You'd be better at it than he would.
I got to dull it down.
So
I just saw
Keith,
also
don't get so
earlier
excited. Don't get so excited, Keith.
that the Mississippi governor has said he will not lock down anything, and that they're going to trust in the Lord and the power of prayer. And he prayed for everybody on the radio yesterday or this morning, and yeah, they're not going to do any of the social distancing stuff or anything. They're going to keep working and not closing anything. And
if we need a border anywhere, it's there. We need to build that wall.
Can we get an amen and a hallelujah, please?
They can get last rites read to them when they fucking die.
Yeah, but those people get out. They come out. They leave the state.
Right.
And then what? Florida is having everyone that flies into Florida self-impose a... what was it? Oh, the because they're coming from New York or something.
Oh, yeah. Anybody coming in from New York or New Jersey or anything like that has to be quarantined for 14 days.
Yeah.
Has to self-quarantine.
Self-quarantine.
And so I don't really think anybody's going much of anywhere because it's like a red flag if you're the only one at that airport. I mean, where are you going, sir? And technically here, since Dallas County is technically closed, is the airport considered essential?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because the supplies coming in and out.
That's true.
I got my supplies this morning, as a matter of fact.
Junior's not paying attention at all.
Yes, I am.
You're not.
I'm looking for information on what's going on in America.
No, you're not. Prove it. Turn your phone around.
He's looking at porn.
Why?
Actually, I've been watching his phone, and there hadn't been one naked guy. It was guys, but none of them have been naked.
Yeah, these guys live in Toole, Texas, and Lenny James and Cecil Peel from Reach Trucker Operation Crown at
That's
United.
really what it says. It's a weird name.
So anyway, they're truckers and
yeah.
So
Yeah.
So and you have nieces, and so your family's very in other words, you are very social with your family and stuff like that. How has this affected that?
Okay, I'm going to tell you, Harper has respiratory problems already.
So
there's been several times they've had to take her to the hospital and they put her on ventilators and stuff. Her grandpa, my brother-in-law Lonnie, and then her uncle, my nephew Connor, are both first responders. They're firemen, so they're keeping. They're going to keep her away from them, which is really hard. Now, Lonnie's been in Beverly Hills for the last few weeks. He's due back soon. But they're not going to let her go around them, which is crazy. My mom's, their parents, my nephew Chris and his wife Lacey, are both work for different insurance companies, but they work from home. And my mom usually keeps one of the kids a couple of days of the week, then the other kid the other days, where my sister will keep some. Now, I don't know how it's going to work when Lonnie gets home. My mom had both the kids today. They went to Home Depot and bought a bunch of flowers, and they were all planting them, transferring them into pots and stuff. And
hey, does anybody know where I can get any catnip?
We got some right there.
No. Fresh catnip, live catnip, real catnip.
Why?
Because I want to put some in my herb garden. Just made me think of it. Don't ask why.
What does catnip do? Besides,
make your cat crazy.
Well, yeah. Besides that.
That's about it, but it's I've got friends that have cats, and I want to give them some fresh catnip.
Oh, I want some fresh catnip.
Yeah, so if anybody knows where I can pick up some catnip, let me know.
Well, I think the only person...
Google that shit.
That's considered an herb, right? That's an herb?
Yeah, it's an herb.
So wouldn't Jack know about that?
Jack, yes.
Jack don't know nothing.
Because I looked at Home Depot. I haven't looked at Lowe's.
Maybe it's a controlled substance for cats. I don't know.
It could be, yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry, I'm off track.
No, it's fine. No, that's a good thing to ask. Where do you get catnip from? I don't know.
So I don't know how the more on lockdown we go, how it's going to go. If they're going to have to split up their time at work, at home, to one of them take care of the kids. I'm really not sure.
So have they had to explain this to the kids?
I don't think so.
They're young enough to where that's not an
so,
issue right now, right? So were they in? How young are they?
Harper will be 4 in July.
So
July 4th? No.
So already in,
and Dylan will be 2.
Any kind
year.
of so
4 and 2.
Are either of them in school at all?
Because Skyly just turned 1.
Are they in any kind of school like daycare or kindergarten or?
Amazon, real cheap catnip seeds.
Harper.
That's seeds. I want plants.
Harper goes to kind of a daycare school twice a week, or Tuesdays and Thursdays, just for a few hours each day.
So
just I guess to get her used to being around other
right.
kids
So the
and
thing,
stuff.
the reason I'm asking is how this has impacted them, but also that break the parents get from the kids, because kids can be a handful, and after a while, that couple hours a week is a big deal.
Right. Well, yeah, like I said, they don't have them all day during the week. My mom keeps them, and my sister keeps them, and it's going to be a big change.
Yeah.
They posted a bunch of pictures a few days ago. I saved them on my phone because they're so cute. Of them doing arts and crafts and teaching them different stuff. It'll get. I would say it gets boring. It would get boring after a while. It would for me, but they seem to really enjoy it, and they change it up enough.
Do you need a longer cable?
Nobody knows.
But yeah. So when they came over the other day, my mom had bought all the stuff, and her and Harper made donuts, which I have those pictures too. Those are adorable too. So they made homemade donuts, and then today when they came over, they did the plants and stuff. And so yeah, they find stuff, and even before this happened, they're always finding stuff to creative and learn and to teach them and to keep them interested. So I think they'll be fine.
Yeah, but they don't have you to do ballet with anymore.
Whenever I go home, we do ballet. I can twinkle toe.
Oh, God, I'm erasing that.
No,
That's a visual. I don't even
love
want.
that. Come on,
I've never done the.
Imagine being
thing,
a kid with an uncle with an uncle like him.
Hey,
that'd be great.
I just try to be fun.
He needs a tutu.
They spend time with our older relatives.
Google that
so
shit.
when
an adult tutu.
I come in, I just like to come in with the energy and make them have fun. And so
that's Uncle Keith.
So and
I do the same with them.
So Junior has been a little nervous because, he works in a clinic. He's a nurse, but also with his health, he has underlying health issues. And so when they made the decision the other day, was that because of your underlying health issues, or did you have an option to say no? I need to work.
No, Jolene said no. She said, Junior, I think you should go home. I'm like, okay, I told her, let me finish what I started here, and I'll go. And she goes, yeah, because your health you're one of the high risk factors, and because our building had experienced 4 cases of coronavirus, and knowing how our building is steel surfaces and it lasts a while. And
2 guppies mating.
Right. Anyway, she thought it'd be a good idea to go home, and I was wrestling with that all weekend long, and
I know it really had you concerned, and
because I like what I do. I'm not super great at it, but I'm really good at getting things to people that need something.
Didn't you just get Nurse of the Year last year?
Yep, I did.
Well, then you're average at it anyway. They'll just give that to anybody. But
you know what? You need to be hit.
Huh?
I love you, but you need to be hit
For what?
for being average. He's not average.
I
He's
know.
above
That's
average.
why I brought up he
Thank
got Nurse
you,
of the
PJ.
Year. He called himself not that good, and I brought up he's Nurse of the Year
But-
because he should be proud of himself and what he does.
But see that it's and that's the thing. This I felt off last week, but I didn't start feeling bad about everything until it realized that the friends and family that I love are being affected by this. You've had a job with AMC for what, 7 years?
9.5. Well,
And they had to make, this county closed everything, and even if they hadn't, the movie people going to movies had slowed down, and so they went through the closing process, and they really haven't guaranteed that you have a job coming back.
I do.
Okay, you do.
Right.
Okay, so they did tell you that when we're ready to open, if you're still available, you have your job.
Yes.
See, that's a different thing. But it doesn't mean, obviously, you got that time. Unemployment hopefully will help you out. They're giving you time. Did you have any vacation time left over?
I did. I had about 72 hours.
Are they giving you that too and all that
Yes.
stuff?
Yeah, they're going to pay us that too.
Okay.
So.
Well,
And I don't lose any tenure or anything.
So that's
I'll go
perfect.
back right where
At least
I'm
that
at,
leaves
so.
you, so yes, this is scary, but you're a little more secure than the average individual, depending on how long this draws out.
Right, exactly.
And Stephen, but did you, when they sort of told you Friday, right? You had gone home early and they texted you.
My boss called me Friday afternoon about 4:00 and went, "We're closed," and that was about the end of the discussion.
But okay. Obviously, that's not a very tactful way of doing it. It's like being fired by FedEx. Okay, and I've had a friend who was fired by FedEx. So we sent them a letter, and boom, here it is. We know you got it, so you're fired. So it's but with what was going on, what we saw going on around the country, this dark cloud was on the horizon, and we didn't. Everybody knew. And as I saw people being affected, my best friend in the world, Matt Jervia in Orlando. He's worked for this company that is fucking devil to work for. But they paid him well, and he did his job well, and allowed him to have freedom to do what he needed, but also allowed him to take care of his mom. And jobs in Orlando aren't that easy. They're because of the theme parks and how they really keep the pay low because they can.
Right.
Now everybody's unemployed. And so Friday they said at the end of the day, they said, I'm sorry, we're closing the office. And so now I look at him and I look at, he's got his mom he's taking care of. She's got Social Security. I know he's going to have unemployment. I know he's going to have food stamps. But I know for him, in the back of his mind, it's scary,
Yeah,
and that's when it hit me.
It is scary for me too, because I don't know for certain that I have a position when or if we go back. I mean, I've only been there just under a year, about 11 months, and I don't know that I will have a position when I come back.
Though, just from what I know about you, at least from what I see, you're responsible. You show up. I mean, your job. I mean, you don't take time out. You have health things, but they're aware of that. And so compared to, I don't know other employees, but the average employee,
right?
You're not a problem.
No, I'm not I'm not a problem, but it's just one of those.
I think if Jeff is back, you.
Well, that's just it. I don't know if Jeff's coming back.
Right.
I don't know.
If Jeff's back, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't have any problem.
That's one of the things that Jeff's worrying about too. Is he has college, he has his child support, he's got to pay for his place to live, he's got a car note, he's got all this stuff that he has to pay for. And this is his first time ever signing up for unemployment, and he is just terrified, not just for the unemployment, but because the unemployment's not going to be enough to meet his bills.
Right.
Well, looks like I'm going to have to use up all my PTO time that occurred.
And that's a lot of people doing that. I've had
and because I was occurring it for our wedding in May, and as the way things look, it's not sure. I mean, I mean the corona just doesn't go away in 3 weeks or 4 weeks. It's just here.
No.
Well, according to somebody, it does.
Yeah.
But we won't mention any names.
Well, here's the thing, though, and there's a stark difference when you listen to Governor, what's it, Cuomo? Is that how you pronounce his name?
Yeah.
This man has his arms around this thing, and when you talk to him, when you hear him speak, he just it makes sense.
Yeah,
it's coherent. He's had people think things out for him, and then he has graphs made, and he explains to people
what's being done.
Right, and he tells them without any hesitation what the government is doing for him, what the government isn't doing for him. And he sat this morning and did a
update.
Yeah, and behind him was, a stockpile of some masks and stuff and things like that. And he's talking about how they're building a hospital. I think part of that's coming from what Trump did.
Right.
But what he was saying is all the things we've gotten, we've purchased. Everything we could get our hands on from around the world, we've purchased. Mm-hmm. He said the one thing we cannot get more of is ventilators.
And they're stockpiling 20,000 ventilators, and they haven't decided whether they need to use them or not.
And the reason they're saying that is the response they give this.
Who said they didn't know?
The government, no, the federal
government.
government.
Secretary
Okay.
Azar is sitting on them, and the guy says, look at your title, Health and Human Services. You're responsible. So, and Cuomo made sense. Give us the 20,000 ventilators. When we don't need them, we'll pass them along, and we'll make sure.
Or that, or just spread the 20,000 or whatever, however many it is, among the places that need them the most
The,
first.
the most critical
Right
areas.
now, there's about 58 or 60,000 cases in America, and 30-something of them or 30,000 something are in New York.
Yep.
It's
right now,
really where they need them right now.
Most critical area. And then once that area curves down, then somewhere else is curving up. Send them over that way.
And that's what he thought the logistics of all of this. He was saying we are right now the epicenter.
Yeah.
We're going to curve. We're going to crescendo at a certain point.
Apex at a certain
Same
point.
thing. And so he 100% made sense. And what I think the problem is I don't think Trump likes anybody making sense because he can't do it. If he could do it, I mean, I don't know. He's so used to just bullshitting his way through stuff that. So Cuomo says to him, you know what, give it to us first. We are right now at 42,000 cases or something like that. We haven't crescendoed yet because we still don't have unlimited testing ability. He said, but we can use these, and once we've had the need and used it, we will pack them up. And he said, I will ship them wherever you want. I will pay to ship them wherever you want. Yeah. I will make sure they get to where you want to go.
So New York has 25,665 total cases.
Yes.
The next closest state is Jersey. They have 3,675.
So 25,000 is a lot of cases.
New York has 4,790 new cases just today. 53 deaths just today.
And they're talking about putting a splitter on the existing
ventilators.
So that one ventilator
is doing for two people.
But
the thing is that how safe is that? I mean, the air is circulating into the ventilator and coming back to them. How's it not mixing with it's just strange.
Right.
It's strange. But, if they can make it happen, hey, that's great. But you know what? Unless it's PJ next to me, I don't want nobody else on my same ventilator. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, I think if you're laying there in the bed dying and the only way you could get a ventilator is to share a ventilator, you would take it.
Well, and that's what he's saying. We've gotten to a point where there's no other choice.
Right.
Yeah.
And believe me, they don't want to do these things, but it's like some of the places having to wash their masks or save their masks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these PPEs, these personal protection equipment, are paper. So the gowns are paper. They ripped them off. It's not like they can be washed. But he had a good point. For right now, let's go to some cloth stuff, even if it's a hospital gown, I guess, and they could wash those. I mean, there are things we can do, but and
the only thing about cloth, you got to wash it well, and you have to take it off in a certain way. And once you de-gown, you need to take your clothes off and wash and put street clothes on, because anything that was on the gown is on your uniform, and you don't want to take that home.
All right.
So it's a process, and if it's practiced right, nurses and doctors are good to go.
Right.
But if there's just one slip up and they're exposed, then...
So I saw in Oklahoma where they were asking seamstresses and stuff to start making gear. I have a friend on Facebook. I've never actually met him, but he might be a part of our big men's group too. I think that's how he friended me on Facebook. Anyway, he's was on some fashion show last year, Project Runway, where he was in competition.
Really?
He didn't win, but he was really high up. But since then, he's been doing shows all over the world, and he just had a big fashion show a couple of months ago in New York. Beautiful stuff, man. And he was just asking the other day, a few days ago, what materials to use, and they were going to start making equipment,
Right.
You know, mask and gears and stuff. So there's a lot of people who are reaching out and trying to do some
Well,
stuff.
and a lot of the schools are helping in the sense that I talked to a friend of mine who has she works part-time in a school in DeLand, Florida, in Orlando, Florida. And, I asked her if she wanted to call, and she said she couldn't because they had prepared a lot of boxed lunches. And so parents and they didn't care where they were from. If you come through, they give you 2 or 3 of these things for the kids that you have, and off they went. So they were still trying to give breakfast and lunch, or at least whatever they could, because a lot of these families were so dependent on that meal as part of their nutrition. And with the schools closed, some of these kids are not getting what little they got, and I can't believe the government even has issues with that. I mean, sometimes what Trump says sounds like makes sense, like where he says, each place is going to have different needs. I get that. And that makes it sound like he's thought things out. We're going to provide the support, but we're going to let the governors decide this, and
let
local
them lead.
And some of that makes sense.
Right.
But when the governors say we no longer can do this without your help, you have the ability to tell different companies to start making masks, to start making ventilators, to start making gowns. You have and say, we'll give you the money, we'll contract with you. The way they explained it was made one. Yeah. He has the ability to do this, and he's signed the law.
Did you hear his comment about that
done
yesterday?
Nothing. No. What did he say?
Okay, so what he says is when he makes a company convert their equipment to start making this stuff, that's nationalizing these companies, and Venezuela did that, and look at Venezuela, they're not very good. But Venezuela's run by a corrupt government, and they're total socialist. Anyway, so in other words, he don't want the federal government to step in and tell businesses how to run their business.
But see, here's the thing. But what happened to make the fucking America great again? We need that fucking now.
Right.
Right.
So I see you're holding the article of Dan Patrick, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, Dan Patrick.
Slow down.
I'm going to let you tell it. I'm just telling who he is.
Hold on a minute. Hold on. Let's do this right so Junior gets his attention.
What the hell? All right. As Keith was saying, Texas Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick spurs shelter in place, urges return to work, says grandparents should sacrifice. You know what? He's a Republican, and apparently he doesn't watch what happened in Italy. And what happened in Italy is going to happen here. So, my message is, that's what he says, let's get back to work, Patrick said on Fox News, and those of us who are 70 plus will take care of ourselves, but we don't sacrifice the country. Back during the Obama era, they had this thing where they had death panels. Republicans were screaming and holler that if you went to the Obamacare, you'd be on a death panel. Well, this pretty much sounds like the same thing, but a Republican version. So,
yeah, it's not the same though, because they were saying that signing on to the Affordable Care Act would be like a death, panel.
Right.
But this is like saying, well, there's a really, really good chance you're going to die, but it'll save our economy. You'll leave, a richer country for your kids, so that'll be all right. Yeah. And then Trump, was kind of piggybacking off something he said the other day, and then he says, well, more people die in car wrecks every day, but we're not going to stop people from dying. So,
and some people haven't died yet that have died.
More people die from gun violence every day too, Mr. Trump. You're not taking guns away either, but
So Donna Howard of Austin, a former nurse who is influential in the health policy to top Democrats in the House Budget Committee, questioned Patrick's comments. The idea that the only option is for us to sacrifice ourselves is really incredulous to me, said Howard, and who added she too is a grandparent. I mean, there are definitely other routes we can take that makes much more sense.
So what we need to go. So here's what we need to do: form posses and go round up grandmas and grandpas and just throw them off a cliff somewhere. I mean, come on. They need to throw themselves on the grenade, right?
No. know. We'll get a volcano and just put them all in there. I mean, you know.
Wait. We're
Think
going to
about
waste
it.
volcano.
Think about it like this too. If we let all the old fuckers die, that's less Social Security we got to pay out to them too. That's more money that they can
But that's
fucking
their
put in
voting
their
base.
pockets. Yeah, it
Those
is.
people-
That's more money they can put in their pockets because we're not paying the Social Security. We can spend this money over
Well,
here.
I think Dan.
We
Patrick,
could get more tax cuts.
I
if we
think
don't
Dan
pay Social
Patrick should be the first to be exposed. And
How old is he? How old is he?
70 or
70.
71.
Well, fuck,
right?
he's up there. He's a grandfather, right?
Right, that's
Well,
what he's saying.
geez.
He said he's willing to take that chance. Thing is, though, people like him that are rich and have clout and are known, they get moved to the front of the line. If they're going to get ultimate care if they're in trouble, where the poor folks are not. The senior citizens are catching it in the senior homes. They're just kind of like, well, lock the door and wave at your family through the window. You're going to die, and it's crazy.
It's crazy. And to back up to what you were saying earlier, PJ, some of the families that are being hit the hardest are the ones with the children in school that don't have daycare or
Right.
any of this. They're like, how do I handle this? What do I do? Where do I get the money from? Because they're going to have to pay daycare. They're going to have to pay for food. They're going to have to, all this stuff that they were having taken care of when the kid was in school.
Right.
Now comes home to them, and who's teaching them?
And that kind of supports Dan Patrick's argument. Well, just let everybody go back to school and y'all go back to work, and then everything's back to normal, and you don't have to worry about nobody taken care of.
Right.
Okay. Fine. I won't worry about anybody then.
And then they'll just die.
Yeah,
we'll just let them die.
And when the
Kids will
numbers
get sick, and then
start climbing. Now, Cuomo said that the ones who are immune, let them go back to work. Those who are have antibodies or have gotten over it and they're well, let them go back to work. Keep the workforce
And everything
going.
he said made wonder. He had, and I don't think he did all this himself. He has a staff that provides this information for him, and this is something I'm sure if people were allowed to do their job, and he wouldn't fire people at a whim, he would. Trump would probably has been told this, or someone sitting there saying, "I really should tell him this, but I don't want to lose my job or my life."
Or be criticized on Twitter.
the little health inspector that's the head of the guy that's with him
he
all
wasn't
the
there
time.
yesterday. He wasn't there.
He
yesterday.
wasn't there yesterday. I read an article with him this morning where it was, transcript from like a phone interview they did with him, and they asked him, "How have you not been fired yet? Because everything you seem to say contradicts what Trump says right before you." And he says, "I have no idea."
Because I think they need at least one person that's sane up there, and
He's
One person that knows what they're doing.
And the way I read it, and this is just my interpretation of it, his comments were like, he's trying to articulate what Trump said and put the true facts out there without just totally going, this guy's a fucking moron.
yeah, Barry says that in Canada they've frozen mortgage and car payments.
Right. There's been talk of
Trump
them
won't do
doing
that
it
here because he's a money man.
I was told that the FCC has got a bill going, so you don't have to pay internet service or phone bills or anything for several months. You just
and that's the thing. He turned today on, and he had, I don't know if it's.
But you have to call them and tell them you want to be part of the Keep America Connected program, and that they'll.
Hello.
Payments.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
It's Barry.
White boy?
Hey, Barry.
White Barry? Is this White Barry? Barry.
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 Hello.
Barry.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hi. What's up, white boy?
I was just listening. Thought I'd call in and say hi.
Are you at home? Why are you at home?
A little bit of a stomach pain this morning.
You got the virus.
That's how it all started. I hope I
Yeah.
don't catch it through the microphone.
Are you willing to sacrifice yourself?
Just a lot of pooping.
Oh, see, now you're hoarding toilet paper. See, you're just part of the problem.
He's got a bidet.
He's got a bidet. How do you know?
Because I went over for
I got
dinner
a
one
day.
time.
I don't need toilet paper.
See? Tell you.
You just know everything about everybody.
You can tell how people walk if they use toilet paper or if they have a bidet.
They feel freer or what?
They feel fresher.
It's got the undercarriage. What was it? Simon Eyes underneath it. Yeah. So he said that his where he works was considered essential,
Yeah.
and technically, I guess auto repair would be.
Well, not if everybody's locked down in at home.
Yeah, I mean, who's going
If
to go
you're
anywhere?
home, you
Yeah,
can't.
but you have all the first responders. You have all the medical staff. You have grocery store people. There's a lot of people still out there.
Got that one tire for $90,000. Way to go.
Well, hey, we're having a sale. Buy one, get free.
Really?
The first one's going to cost you $1,000.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, there you go.
Buy one, get the coronavirus for free.
Hey.
They spray all their tires down before they put them on.
They got to sanitize in the counters and the bathrooms like 20 times a day.
Yeah.
So
Well,
we're being as safe as we can possibly be.
So how long have you been not feeling well?
Started last night. Stomach started cramping up. And then just got bad. Now I'm, I
PMS.
took some stuff and I'm feeling good now.
uh-huh.
Went over to the Mexican grocery store and picked up some stuff. And
Well, that's why.
So,
Did you know in China they have tortillas?
They're not tortillas.
I did not.
It wasn't China, it was Singapore.
It was a freaking tortilla.
probably whatever they used to roll the egg rolls, wonton noodles or
Yeah,
wonton. Because,
yeah.
we
It
used to get
looked like a taco to me.
we used to get
It
it
wasn't a taco.
in long strips, and we would chop it and fry it.
All Chinese food here is not the same as Chinese food there.
Well, that's true.
You don't know. You ain't never been to China.
How do you know he's
Hey,
never been to
How
China?
do you know?
Huh? Same way I knew about the bidet.
Oh.
I know everything.
So, Barry,
except for what I don't.
And then he makes it up.
So, Barry, are you kind of sticking to the house on weekends?
I did this weekend. I didn't know what you guys were doing, and my friend Sandy, who I've been helping with her trailer in Wilkes Point, she's got an elderly mom, so since I'm working in retail, I just chose not to go.
Is she willing to sacrifice her?
Not to get
Apparently, they're giving $1,000 for every older person willing to kick the bucket.
Ah, that's so cold.
You can get that tire.
Well, that's Dan
Really
Patrick
cold.
for you. The corrupt leadership of this country is just sad. And all those people who support that and believe that they're doing something wonderful need to step back and look at it.
I hope you're talking about both sides.
Oh, yeah, I am. Corrupt leadership of this country.
Right.
I mean,
It's just awful.
Well, I mean, look at. I put a note in there. In Canada, they've frozen all auto and mortgage payments
yeah, my
for 90
brother
days.
told me last night that they knocked $200 off his rent for this month and probably next month. They didn't freeze it, but I know that was one of the things that the Democrats were asking for in the stimulus package bill was for them to, so for there could be no evictions or anything to protect renters during this time, and that the Republicans removed that. So I don't know. I know my boss has already called and got his loan payments.
I think there's already something on that.
Huh?
There's already something on that they can't do foreclosures, they can't do evictions.
Yeah, but they're
I read
but they're
something-
trying. Yeah, but now they're trying to change that.
Well, then they're going to have to deal with a lot of people sitting on the street.
Right, and then a lot of people are exposed and on the street, and it's just going to spread the virus, and more are going to die.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
I mean, you've got to step in and do something.
right.
When Trump is playing every game in the world, and between the stupid fucking Democrats and the Republicans that just don't want to, are so busy fighting their own battles that they forget that there's us out there.
That's correct.
And the people are dying, and they need to work
correct.
together and get it dealt with instead of fighting each other.
The Republicans are trying to make money off this, and the Democrats are asking for shit that has nothing to do with this, and they're both fucking everything up. They're
right, and I think that if you clear off
and then they point fingers at each other.
Senate and the Congress and turn it into a big daycare center, there's enough room for all the kids to be 6 feet apart.
Aren't you lucky that you're not in Sun City yet, though? Because if you were there, you'd be with all them old people, and all them old people are passing away like,
Dude, he could upgrade his room.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you understand the interest rates are down right now.
So wait,
So when I go to sell this house,
you're going to use that
it's
as
going to be easy to sell.
you're going to use that as a means to get better. You take advantage of the situation. I like you, Mr. Trump.
I'm trying to
no,
take.
I mean,
I'm trying to get a lower rate to refinance my house with.
but
wrong
when I
with
go
that.
to Sun City,
You own your place?
all those people will be dead. There's plenty of houses to sell.
Right.
Well,
Yes, I'm going to take advantage.
you're going to do what with who?
Take advantage.
Oh,
I'm going to take advantage by selling my house at max value.
I
and
got you.
feeling really good about it when it's done.
Cool,
Does
cool.
anybody out there think that China should be held accountable for this? I don't.
You can't.
I don't know how do
You
you hold
can't.
them
How-
accountable.
how do you
I
do
mean,
that?
you can be upset at them for taking their time telling people about it, but then at the same time, you have to be just as mad as our administration for not acting quicker on it when they did find out about it because they just ignored it for a while. So as bad as it is there and what they caused, if they caused it, then it's just as bad on our people for it being as bad as it is here. And it's going to hit worse here than it has anywhere else.
Yep, because we're not listening. I go to some of these postings from people who are Trumpers, and you click on their comments, and look at the names: Kay, Brooke, Melissa, Barbara. Once in a while you get Vanessa. Get a man's name: Marcy, Glenda. You know, a lot of women really, really post a lot of shit on these things. Notice that?
Sometimes if you read their last names and then you click on their things, you can tell their bots are actually Russians. They'll post shit just to stir shit up, man.
It's amazing, man. You know, that was kind of...
All right.
So, look at this.
Yeah, I hate when they do that on Vine.
See that?
Is that Barry guy?
Their post and how far apart a lot of them are, too. You can tell they're fake that way.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I mean, yeah. You know.
Yep.
People,
so Barry,
if people spent a little more time educating themselves about what's going on and try to listen to both sides and try to come up with a rational thought or a rationalization of it.
it's just hard for me to understand how when you watch the newscast from Fox at the beginning of this where it's a hoax, it's a Democratic hoax, and then 2 weeks later, this is serious. This is very serious.
And I've always known it was a pandemic.
Yeah, and we never called it a hoax. And then there's a video them saying it, and then they're saying they didn't say it. So you catch them in a lie, bold-faced lies, right fucking here. And then people go, I trust Fox News. Donald Trump. Oh, yeah, it's a Democratic hoax. Oh, I've known it was a pandemic before they even said pandemic. And then you show these videos of him where he's saying just the opposite, where he's just fucking lying straight out. But then everything he says after that, they're like, oh, he's the truth.
And he's
it's
making
the truth. I trust my president.
And he makes a point of shaking hands on camera.
Yeah.
He makes a point of...
He's gotten better about that, and I understand. If somebody walks up to you and sticks out their hand, I fucking shake hands.
I know. I do, too.
It's a habit. It's a habit.
And he touches his face.
I touch my face 100
I
times.
know, but he said he hadn't touched his face in weeks.
Yeah,
You know.
he does say that.
Yeah.
Now,
I haven't touched my face in
2 minutes?
weeks.
Still playing golf.
He did. He played golf for the first few months of this, or first 3 or 4 weeks of it. He was playing golf every weekend.
Every weekend he was playing golf. Yeah. I mean, you know, so he donates his salary, $450,000 a year, but charges the American taxpayer millions to go golfing every weekend. So how's that?
What a hero and a
Yeah, I mean, come on, dude. When you spend $1 million going to Mar-a-Lago to suck dick and kiss ass and whatever.
Oh, I want to go.
No, you don't. Those dicks you don't want to suck you because you don't know who's
I was
been.
referring.
You don't know. You don't know where those dicks have been.
Yeah, especially Donald's.
Hey,
Metaphorically or literally.
Barry, do you have us on speakerphone?
I do.
Yeah, it works better if you don't do that.
Yeah, that I was going to say that earlier when we first started talking. That you sounded bad, but
Yeah, you sound
nobody else said anything.
Sound
so
like
I
you're
thought it was
underwater.
just me.
Yeah, you have the coronavirus.
Or like,
no, I wasn't underwater.
or like there's an echo in the bathroom and you're taking a poop or something.
You're not in the bathroom, are you?
Are you pooping?
None of your business. Keith should know. Keith can know everything else.
So you just finished another
No,
one.
He's
Huh?
definitely pooping.
I'm sorry. I was cooking.
Oh, what are you cooking, man? We'd come over and have some dinner.
Yeah, we'll just come by the window. We'll drive through.
Yeah. Through the doggy door.
You got the Traeger going?
I do.
You do?
What's the trigger?
Traeger?
As I said,
It's a grill. It's a smoker. It uses the pellets, the flavored pellets. to
Oh,
smoke the
man.
meat. Right.
Does it work well?
See,
It does. You would know if you'd have went to the Christmas party. You could have.
Well,
taken
yeah.
some
Yeah.
stuff.
So
Some-
don't bring that up. Don't bring that up.
Sorry.
Yeah. Horror.
Shots fired. Wow.
Yeah, I know. So, Barry, what are you cooking?
I'm cooking some meatballs inside. I'm cooking some fajita meat outside, and some chicken.
You're cooking your balls? That's unusual.
Do you have some tortillas for that
Hey.
heat? For the fajitas?
You know, leave my sweaty balls alone.
Those are, by the way, those aren't average size, are they?
Hell no. Them soccer balls.
I know, right? So you got tortillas for your fajitas?
Yeah, actually, I do.
There you go. I had another household with
Yeah.
some tortillas. I guess I'm the only household in the 5 miles radius that don't have tortillas in the house.
thank you. Well, yeah.
I generally don't have tortillas. I
Uh-huh.
mean, I usually just eat bread, but I was really excited last night when I went to Tom Thumb and found bread. I found a loaf of bread. I couldn't believe it. I've been looking for days.
Oh, did you buy the bread?
I did buy the bread.
We're selling bread at $1 a slice.
Well, I actually bought yeast, too, in case I needed to make my bread.
There you go. Yeah, I mean,
So-
I don't know any Jewish boys that don't know how to make bread.
Hey, and I ordered some matzah from my Amazon.
What are you doing?
He's on the phone.
One of our co-hosts is on the phone at the moment.
It's okay. I turned your mic off.
Okay.
All
I'll
right.
hang up so you guys can talk to.
All right. Are you okay over there? Nothing changes. What's the matter? Okay. Does it need a glass of water or anything? No. All right. So anyway, yeah. Okay, Barry. Well, thank you for calling the show and let us know how you feel about the current situation. Okay.
Okay, guys, have a good one. Be
You too.
safe.
All right. Bye.
No. Tell me you want to check on your mom.
Well, I'll tell you what. Everybody's afraid to drive around Dallas. I mean, seriously, it's a still free country. Okay. If you're in your car by yourself going to get something you need, go get it. Okay. If the cops have to stop you, just say, hey, listen, it's a free country. I need to get some food. I'm going back home.
No, don't take that advice.
Well, really. Oh, do the other one. I'm going to go see somebody elderly in the nursing home. What the fuck?
So what we're going to do is, let's see, how long have we been on here? We're going to call the show to a close. We're about on an hour. We guys, we'll talk to you guys later. We appreciate you hanging out with us for a little bit today. Yep.
All right. Thank y'all.
Way to go. So you guys have a great day, and we'll see you when we see you.